Happy Sunday evening, everybody. How's everybody doing out there? Hey,
Hello,
welcome
hello,
to the
everybody.
Get Your Shit. We have Mr. Anthony Cain with us from Detroit, Michigan. Hello, Mr. Cain. How are ya?
All right, cuz, what's going on?
Nothing much. Just trying to, stay out of the stay out the man way.
Good luck.
Just trying to stay out the white man way so I can live a few more years.
Good luck. I'm with
That's
you.
about it. All right. Last time YouTubers I was on here, that was the last time for me being 60. On the 5th, I turned 61 years old. So happy belated birthday to me. I'm just celebrating all month
Happy
because you know how
birthday.
we do. Yeah.
Right.
61 is still here because millions didn't make it, but I was one of the ones who did. So I'm just happy to be able to say, okay, I made the 61. Now I just want to say 81, 91.
Right.
Hello. You
That's
know
the
what I'm
goal.
saying?
That's
81.
the that's the goal. Well, 71, 81, 91.
Yeah. No, I skipped all over there because I know I feel like I'm gonna get all of those. I just want to get to the
Okay.
81, 91. I really want to get to the 100 but I know that might not be possible.
I ain't
So
skipping the 71, the 81, the 91. I'm gonna keep it moving.
all right, everyone, tonight, like I said, welcome back. We're happy to be back. We're happy to have you guys with us. We now have Mr. Anthony Cain, who we will be part of this show going forward whenever we broadcast, and he will be on it. So you see and be like, oh, they got somebody on there. Yes, we do. It's my cousin from Detroit, Michigan, Mr. Anthony Cain, and he is a
Great.
consultant for the government and very, very, very political savvy. I mean, hey, the politics, like, he know. You know what I'm saying? He know. Definitely my go-to person when I have doubts about something that's going on or why is Trump doing some of this shit. I have to ask the question. I'll be like, cuz, why? When I send him a text or either call, and I'll be like, why are they allowing this man to do the things that he's doing? I just don't understand. Cuz what is there not a loophole?
There's loophole. It's just will they come through with them? They are afraid, and rightfully so. I mean, you see the vicious attacks, the attack on Nancy Pelosi husband. They came to their home, their residence, and their offices, and daily threats on the phones and emails. So it's dangerous times, and people are afraid. And even if the particular political person or elected official isn't, their family is at risk, and they don't want their family to get hurt. So it's kind of like, what do you do?
Well, because I mean, I have to look at it like this because I'm thinking like here we are, all our life we have been brainwashed all our lives to believe that America was like the greatest country in the world. I mean, everything was like, hey, if it wasn't coming through America, it wasn't happening. And we kind of just grew up listening to that and kind of got a little bit tuned into it and was really thinking, we was the shit. You know what I mean? We had it going on. We're not knowing all along that other countries were, hey, getting themselves together because they knew the day would come that America would be where we are now. So I'm thinking like you have two parties and you have one that just dragging the whole country and the people in it because he on a revenge tour, you know what I'm saying, for the mistakes he made in his life, you know what I mean? But he wanted us to be penalized for it. Then you have this other party sitting there, they can't do nothing.
Well, they trying to fight a little bit, but their hands are kind of tied because they're not in power. So once you get in power with the majority, then you can try to go the legal route to make things happen. However, I don't even think that's going to work because the guy got the Supreme Court on his side, and they're going to rule whatever he wants. So we got to ride this wave out for the next 3 years, 2 months, and 19, 15, 16 days and see. But the it has been set now. He's shown us. And so now I think this is the way we're going to operate going forward. Now, those may not be as polished as this guy is or have as much influence as this guy, But he hit Pandora's box. He opened it up. So this is going forward. This is not going to change.
So you don't think, cuz, that we're gonna end up dictatorship?
It's hard to say. I think anything is possible. I certainly hope not. But you have a section of the population who wants it because he's spitting out the stuff that they want to hear. They want white nationalism, separation. They want this America first. They don't want diversity. Don't want diversity. They want to keep that white male dominance hierarchy. So it's just hard to say. I mean, nobody knows how this is going to turn out. And
Well,
see, to me, it's like a pyramid. America's been on top for a while. You can't stay on top forever. So once you reach the top, there's no place else for you to go but down. And
right.
this is what I'm afraid that might be happening with America.
Right. Well, all empires fall. All great empires,
Exactly.
if you go back. Now, I'm not a big reader, but when you say it, I believe it. So all empires fall. I mean, some things we just heard about just being in school in class, the fall of this empire and Great Britain and whatever and whoever is, but it's just I can't stand the fact that we have a situation where you have two parties, one constitution, and the other party just, what I'm saying. Now, I admire the fact that they're holding the line because they want to make sure everybody have health care, and I can see that. You know what I mean? But the Republicans, they don't even care. They don't care. They don't
No, they
care.
do not care. They do not care. They do not care. And it's sad. Fine. Those elected officials don't care, but the people should. So why would you continue to elect those people who don't care? Obviously, is what you are. You don't care. But
Mhm.
we see how it's changing. The farmers now complaining, but they're going to get a bailout. They got a bailout the last time that guy was in office with his awful policies towards the country. But he talks that rhetoric, and they just don't care if the shit falls. So be it.
But they're gonna have to stop and think about the future. I mean, because I'm starting to believe that some of them really don't even care about the future. Their kids, grandkids, great grandkids, they could care less. They
That's
act
what it
as if though
appears.
they don't even care, about you leaving behind, a legacy or whatever with your family. They like, just as long as you destroy the country. Like they mad at the country. What? I mean, what? Did they go to
Yeah,
ask for a loan or something and didn't get a good interest rate?
well, I mean, again, if you follow history, this is not new. It has been like this since the inception of this country. Whenever we as Black people made any type of progress, here comes the white angry mob to burn us out, run us out, lynch us, whatever they need to do to pass us along so they can get the ups. And you got to remember, when slavery was that was free labor, so it wasn't many white folks employed, so they was mad at that. So the government stepped in to kind of help them out a little bit. But as we progressed throughout the years, then they started getting the jobs, and where we were the first fired, last hired. And so with those policies under Jimmy Carter, with the affirmative action and trying to right size the ship, they were mad. Like diversity, DEI, they just mad, and they still running the show. Fortune 500
Mm-hmm.
companies, they still own.
Mm-hmm.
535 members of Congress, 95, 96, 97% still white. They just mad because they don't want to share any black face, brown face,
Mm-hmm.
Mexican, LGBTQ,
Mm-hmm.
anything that they say shouldn't be, they mad at it.
But you know what, cuz I think they've dismantled the Congress. I think the madman
Yeah.
and his cronies, I think they have dismantled the Congress. The Congress not coming back. They don't, I mean, coming back to what? Because, I mean, I just see dictatorship on the rise. I do. I just see dictatorship on the rise. It's just a
I
matter of
agree
time.
with you. It's here. I agree with you because if you listen to them and read some of the dictators of the world and how they started out in the policy and the rhetoric, this guy is on it. So it's up to us to fight. They don't have to win, but we have to fight and be willing to fight. You can't be afraid because in the fight, you might lose or win. You're going to take some hits. You're going to give some hits, but you got to be willing to fight. Otherwise, you lay down and die.
Yeah, that's true. Because how do we fight these days and time? I mean, come on, we up in age. I mean, other than like maybe posting, keeping people, abreast of what's going on by posting or doing like we doing now, having a podcast and putting it on YouTube, and getting people to people will watch the video, they love it and watch it and love it and watch it, but nobody's like, hey, what can we do to help? What's our part? So I mean, what do we do at this point?
I, th- I think we're doing it. That's all you can do, because it's not about taking up arms and acting out that way, because you're not going to win that way by and large. But you have to get the information out. You have to continue to work on family, friends, your neighborhood, your communities, and do boycott, protest right, because it matters. Look at Target. Target is getting hit from Jamal Bryant and that boycott.
Yeah.
The CEO that stepped down, he got another position. They'd have dropped his salary. Target is getting hit. So you hit him in the pocket. Remember
Yeah.
the bus boycott, Montgomery boycott, over 300, what they did, 2 years, almost a year and a half,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and they broke the city's bus transportation. They said, well, y'all black folks can sit in the front. We don't care.
Yeah.
So we got to fight.
Everybody wants
We
to
got to
know.
fight.
But see, the only thing about that is that we want get the I mean, yeah, they doing Target, but you can't necessarily do Walmart, because Walmart went into those communities where they had the mom and pop stores thriving. They knocked that down. So I mean, so most of the communities that Walmart are they in, they're needed. So you can't really just hit them and knock them down, because then you start to affect and hurt the people.
But you can, because remember, in a fight, you're going to be willing to take the blows. So if you take the hurt, but this is for the greater good, fine. But I don't speak defeat. Giants do fall. Yeah, Walmart is the top dog. Them and
Yeah.
Amazon, and they offer to Amazon. I don't even shop at Amazon, but
Mm,
nonetheless,
mm-mm.
if you have to drive a little further to another store, a local grocery store, food supply store, fine. You have to do that stuff. And now, like we're doing online, and some
Yeah.
people in those rural areas or what have you may not have that accessibility, but they got
Right.
library, you got neighbors, you got friends,
Mhm.
go to your church, community centers. Somebody's got some internet so you can place an order for some groceries.
And they have to
And you don't
want it.
have to
I
go.
just, and on an individual level, people have to want it. You know what I mean? Because, like you said, you can make it happen. You can do things. And I did a live a couple of weeks ago, just saying, start in your community. If you just set up some tables in your community, right there at the end of your driveway. If you're in a subdivision, and just put the table right there, and people will come. Because the problem is now, especially with us, a lot of people have pride. Now you got a lot of them. They'll call and ask for $1,000 like it ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? But
Hey,
it'd be like, hey, because I was like, I posted one day. I said, "What happened to? Can I borrow $50 to now? Can you loan me $1,000?" You know what I'm saying? It's like what? Like, damn. But if they start right there in their community, one thing about people, they may not let you know that they're hurting because they want to hold that pride. You know what I'm saying? And be like, I don't want nobody saying, oh, she in this big house, or they in this big house and they driving all those cars, but they can't even buy no food. But if you bring it, they will come. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, if you put it out there, they coming. They coming, and you'll be surprised
absolutely.
of people that will join in and volunteer if they see consistency of you doing this all the time to help the people in the community. They would join in and volunteer as well, and it starts small and it can grow big.
It's a saying, how people have positive sayings and postings on their walls in the office and at home. Journey to 1,000 miles begins with one step. And just like
Exactly.
you said, if you go down to your driveway and set up some table, one or two
Mm-hmm.
tables, it begins that
Mm-hmm.
way. So, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, we have to be willing, because we can't lay down and die, give up, because it is apparent this country the trajectory is heading towards unknown or uncharted territory. And so we either cave in or fight to try to hold on or maintain a change. And I hope it does change, because even at the old rate of America, it definitely was missing its mark. So we
Yeah.
have to be intentional to try to right size this ship to treat everybody
Mm-hmm.
fair and everybody with access to monies, a clean environment, safety, good schooling. I mean, that's all we want. And sustainable income to help take care of ourselves. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. I know
That's
I
it.
work from home, but when we leave out the door in the morning time, for the most part, people that have to go to work, which is, quite a few people here in the state of Georgia, because traffic is everywhere.
That's
You just
awful,
turn on
George.
the 6 o'clock news
Especially
and it'd
Atlanta.
be like, oh my God, and I'm like, oh my God. I've been here 43 years and I'm like, I can still be flashing back to the way it was, opposed to the way it is now. And I'd be like, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to be a part of that. But we have got to get involved. We've got to, if donate clothes, personal hygiene products, you got to get out in community. And I say that because growing up in Memphis, we had that. We had that community thing going on. What it had, the candy lady, the snowball lady. I mean, we just had different things, in the projects, and we just had different things, going on where we were. And I
Right.
know we can never go back to the way it used to be. I get that. But
Right.
what we've
Right.
got to understand is that we have to see about each other. We do. We have to see about each other.
Absolutely. It takes that village. And it's
Mm-hmm.
unfortunate because, in my view, because of some of the gains that we have gotten from civil rights and et cetera, that we've kind of lost sight. We lost
Yes.
insight on
Mm-hmm.
where we came from and how we got to the point where we are now. And we've
Mm-hmm.
lost sight of reaching back. I just heard a reel today on Jamal Bryant, a pastor down there in Atlanta, and he was
Mm-hmm.
talking about parents, black parents. He said black parents have to be conscious. He says you're raising your kids up with white privilege, but they don't have black conscience. And that
Yeah.
was like, wow. So
Yeah.
pro black, in my view, pro black does not mean anti white, but the pro black means intentional to pull your own people up and share the wealth with them. You spending the money anyway, spend it with
Mm-hmm.
your people. Some of it,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you might spend a little bit more, but you have to because it's a smaller market and they can't buy as much as Walmart and the Target's people for the prices to be a little cheaper. But on
That's
that
right.
other hand, and I was just meeting yesterday talking to some brothers about this, again, intentional. On the other hand, those black businesses, they have to do the right thing. They cannot treat the customers wrong. You got to give good customer service. And we, as the customer, we can't go in with the slick stuff and the con and thinking we're going to get over on our brothers and sisters. Because you know how we
Right.
can do.
You know
Oh, I
exactly how we
taste
do
this
that.
food. Yeah, I taste this food. I don't like this food. Give me my refund. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
done
yeah,
ate it all
yeah.
up. You can't get no
But
refund
you
after you
can't
done ate
go
it
in
all.
Macy's because you can't go in Macy's and do that. You can't go in
Well,
Macy's and
you can
negotiate
go
with
there.
that the hanger you took off that rack. You know what I'm saying? It say
Exactly.
$79.99. You can't walk up to the cashier and be like, "Hey, look, I want to negotiate with you. I give you 59."
No, you cannot. You could ask them, is there any sales on it, or will it be coming on sale in the future? That's it.
But you definitely can't negotiate the price. But yes,
No.
we do. And that's why I stick with black women to do my hair. You know what I'm saying? Will they be late? Yes. You know what I'm saying? Will they have you waiting? Yes, they do. But I try to, have that relationship and keep it, what I'm saying, with the black girls, what I'm saying, to do my hair because somebody has got to understand the assignment and stick with it. You know what I mean? And make it grow from there. Watch it manifest, from that small little bit investment into it to, posting about it, showing your hair, telling people about the information, giving out the phone number, you know what I'm saying? Letting them see the pictures. Oh, I'm on my journey, blah, blah, blah. So they can, get, tuned in. And it helps the stylist to become better. Once they see that they're getting consistency, they're getting some clients that really, into their own hair and into their hair. And it makes it a lot better. But we gotta have patience with them. And we just have to
But they also
understand.
have But they also it's transactional. It works both ways. They also got to be professional and patient too. If you make that hair appointment for 8 o'clock, you got to be here 8 o'clock.
That's right.
Now we know traffic and other things can happen fine, but if this is a pattern from you, then this is your intent. You saying the hell, well, I get there when I get there. They just have to wait. That's not how business go. If you
No,
open up at 8, open up at 8.
no.
Because
That's
again,
not
when you show professionalism, people will spread it, be more apt to come say, hey, they on the money, they not playing, they
right.
about business. I highly
Mm-hmm.
recommend it. But you give
Right.
grace. Grace wanted, grace given. So it
Right.
is about grace, especially in a smaller business. We're able to, like you mentioned, Macy's. Macy's got a policy and a standard, and that's it. But if you're a small business, you can bend and work with them. But
Yeah.
both parties have to be fair and honest with each other, not playing games.
Yeah, that is true. You know, you can with the mom and pop stores. You probably can do maybe not the grocery store, but the products. You can, but we have to understand like this younger generation, which are that make up most of a lot of I won't say most, but make up a good bit of the hairstylists and the barbers nowadays are the younger people because of the era that we're in and the styles that are now. You know, very few ladies are getting their hair pressed out with a pressing comb, you know what I'm saying, these days, and maybe doing like a washing set where they roll it up with them big old roll, you sit up on the dryer. It's very little of that going on, you know, because now it's like what the braids, the locks, you know, the different type of locks, sister locks, the twists. So we have the young people that are really the ones that are the go-to people for the latest and the greatest. But they they're not wired the way you know how we grew up. You know what I mean? I mean, it. They just and it's the disrespect. You know, they have no respect. They have no respect. You know, and
It's
you
an
still
age gap. It's an age gap.
it,
It's
yeah,
a lot to deal with. It is a lot to deal with, but you can't give up. You have to keep going.
yeah,
And you try to teach them. And I think it's important for the young people, all of us really, is to take criticism constructively, not destructively. Especially if you're
right,
trying to be a a business operator,
right,
entrepreneur. I'm your customer and I'm telling you what I don't like, and I'm sure there are others who may have the same
yeah.
issue, and you gonna get mad at me and cuss me out until I don't need your business. You can leave and this, that. Okay. But if you keep doing that to all your customers, then you're not gonna have no business. So we
Right.
have to learn how to take that construction as positive and not destructive, because it's all like you said, understanding the assignment, and we
But
just have to keep going.
why is it that I know it's a different era. So the minds are different, the time's different. I
Yep.
mean, you know, it's nothing like it was when you and I were in the seventh to eighth grade, ninth grade, even 10th grade, 11th grade, because we didn't have cell phones. You know what I'm saying? At 12th grade,
Right.
when wasn't no cell phone. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I guess I say I, I mean, why don't they want to listen to the people who've been on earth a little longer and have already been through some of these things? And you can avoid walking through that fire if you just listen. You know, I mean, is that like a psychological, mental something?
Yeah, I believe so. I think there's a lot of dynamics and nuances to why people do what they do or don't do. I think there's a lot of angry people in this world, especially in this country. And God only knows why. I mean, it could be the home structure, income, substance abuse, who knows? But nonetheless, I see a lot of anger. And so they lash out and they can't take it. Then it could have been abuse at home. And so they got away from home and they just keep their guards up. They on the defense all the time. So
Hmm.
that's what it is. Life was a little different. I won't say
Yeah.
easier in our day, but it was a little different. We had wholesome communities. We had
Hmm.
love with family. We had weekly or
Hmm.
monthly or holidays with the family, good food and
Hmm.
laughing and talking. Now these kids don't even go out of, at least mine up this way. They don't
Hmm.
go outside and play. They don't know the neighbors. They on them phones or them games streaming them videos and so forth and playing them games. And I'm like, what are you kids? Go out, ride a bike, climb a tree, play basketball, football, relay races. It's so much to do. We had none of this state-of-the-art technology. We made our own fun. We couldn't wait to get home from school and go outside and play.
Yes, we could wait because you talking about go outside. Same thing with the ones down here. Go outside on a bike skating. Are you serious? What? No.
Nope. They do it.
On a go outside. Oh no, where the bugs are.
We play baseball. Right, we play baseball every day. The guys and the girls, we all play baseball every day. We got tired of baseball. We would play something else, running, you name it. We did it. It was just wholesome fun.
Hopscotch,
all of it.
You know, volleyball. But now you talking about, why don't y'all go outside? They turn around and look at you, be like,
outside? What is that?
Outside? What we gonna be out there with the bugs for? And the sun's shining and it's hot I'm serious. The ones here, they take the scooter, cause I ain't lying, and they scoot through the house. They scoot.
Wow.
Now, if I open up the garage door, they might, take a little lunge out and scoot out, you know what I'm saying? The driveway, and turn around and come right on back. They're gonna be out there long. There's not gonna be no longevity outside. Not for these now. And I know.
But I can't blame them. Atlanta's hot as heck, and y'all bugs are terrible. Because when I was there, I went outside, was talking on the phone. I guess about 5-10 minutes, mosquitoes ate me up. So I understand.
Mosquitoes will eat your ass up in Georgia. Yes, they will.
Yes,
that's why I live for the fall. I be like, yes, because when it starts to cool off, they don't come out. And that's a wonderful thing. But they would eat you could be out there a New York second, and you'll have 10 bites when you come back. You start scratching, you got to get the acid off. It is ridiculous. I thought Memphis was bad. I thought growing up in Memphis was bad. No, Atlanta got them beat with the mosquitoes. They definitely have.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad, and you guys are more rural too, so it's not a lot of city neighborhood going on where kids can have more accessibility to others to go out and do other stuff, walk to the corner store, something like that. So it's a little different, but you're right. It's an age gap.
I'm gonna always say, because the old school way, I don't care what nobody say. People want to constantly talk about how, their mom and daddy caused them trauma. And, I get it. I understand. I experienced some of that as well in my life. I get it. But it comes to a point where you have to make that decision for yourself. Are you going to keep holding this back, and carrying it with you for the future? Or are you going to say, hey, you know what? It stops right here. You don't forget, you know what I'm saying? You forgive, you don't forget, and you move on, and you maintain your mental, and you just make things happen for yourself in life, and don't get stuck on that trauma.
I totally agree, but it's got to be somebody to tell it to them. You don't know what you don't know. And then again, if you hear it, how will you receive it? And I don't know. I think some of these young people, I don't know about the education system. I think it lacks from what we had growing up. I went to the store today, speaking of, and the guy, I gave him the exact change, $21.75. So he said, oh, I'm glad you gave me some quarters. I need the quarters. So I had $2 more worth of quarters. Now, mind you, I had already paid my bill. So I gave him $2 of quarters for him to give me $2 back. He thought I was giving it to him. I said, what? He said, yeah, you said. I said, no, you said you needed quarters. I just gave you some extra quarters I had in my pocket. He put it in the cash register. Now, why would you think I'm going to give your market, Walmart, that's who it was, $2 more for nothing? He sat there like a deer in the headlights.
But those kids like that, because you can't say nothing to them, because you say something to them, you got to argue with them, you got to go back and forth with them. So
be ready to fight.
Yes, about your $2. Yeah. You give him $2 a quarter. He couldn't even give you the two
He didn't
Oh,
understand the
he didn't
concept.
understand.
He didn't
Nope.
even understand it.
Nope.
He said he needed quarters. I said, okay, I got some. You change, you trade off. I gave you 8 quarters, you give me $2 bills. Fair exchange ain't robbery. Your drawer not gonna come up short. He could not get it.
Couldn't get it.
Whatever.
And register.
Nope.
And you working at the cash register.
Well, they can't do it without the cash register. I tell them, and I'm old, but my brain can still count my money. I tell them how much change I'm supposed to get back before they calculate it into the cash register because it's
I'm
all
telling.
computer. I just can't use their phone because they don't
Yes.
know how to add,
Yeah.
subtract. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? Are
That's
you
what I was
kidding
just
me?
getting ready to say. Have you seen them when they pull out the cell phone so they can add it up? It's add and subtract it on the cell phone to give you the exact amount. When the cash register, the register does that for you.
Yeah, but even if it don't, they still can't count up here how much to give back.
Mm-mm.
They be at a
Mm-mm.
loss. Be at a
They
loss.
totally at a loss without the electronics. And I'd be like, Lord, what? How, y'all wouldn't survive having to do a research paper to actually having to read.
Well, AI is going to take care of that. So you're right. They won't need it. It's an
Yeah,
AI write the paper for you.
GPT chat doing it now.
Yeah. Yeah.
GP chat,
So
GPT chat doing it now. So it's
it's a
it's
blessing and a
unfortunate.
curse. It's a
It is. You're right, because it's a blessing and it's a curse. Because the blessing is they'll get it right away, but the curse is they're not learning anything.
they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to do it.
No, they're not learning anything. No survival skills. If you were to put them out to here tomorrow
None.
morning at 7 o'clock and tell them they got to survive on their own, you can't call or nothing. Mm-mm, mm-mm. They
Zero.
wouldn't
None. But that's part of our fault too, because we got lax. We left to the schools to teach and really raise them in the streets and the internet and the phone, and as opposed to teaching them stuff. Remember Ben Carson, Dr. Ben
mm-hmm,
Carson from Detroit,
mm-hmm,
who's a disgusting
mm-hmm.
person anyway. He was with Dodo Bird's first
Yeah.
presidency, and he was
Mm-hmm.
office of HUD. Now here you a top neurosurgeon in the
Mm-hmm.
world, and you accept the job at HUD. Seemed like to me you would be in your expert field with dealing with health. But
Exactly.
nonetheless, I brought him up to say this. Growing up, his mother made him and his brother do a article, report, a book report, current affair for
Mm-hmm.
her weekly, daily. I don't forget which one it was, and to write it out so she could look over it. His mother couldn't even read; they didn't know it, but she saw the importance of education and home training or keeping it motivated to learn at home, not just from the school, but at home. So she saw the importance and it worked. This man became one of the top neurosurgeons in the world. Remember, he did the conjoint
Yes.
twin. He did successful surgery with them a few times. So the man is a
Absolutely.
brilliant mind,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
But that's what his mom did. She kept that motivation alive with his schooling and learning at home,
And she
and
couldn't
she
even
couldn't
read.
read. Couldn't
Wow.
read.
See what I say about the old school generation? You know what I mean? About being creative enough to encourage her kids to do this every week. And she didn't even know what it was saying. But she had
Absolutely.
enough, she put that umph into them till they wanted to do that. You know what I mean? You try to put the umph in the kids, now you'll get cussed out.
Might get jumped on.
Hey, Shakara. Oh, hey, Shakara. Hi.
Come
How
on
are
in.
you?
Good. Oh, y'all been on.
Yes, girl, we've been rolling for a minute, girl, talking about these politics.
Yeah, I thought y'all said 6 o'clock.
But I figured you wasn't coming, so I was just letting you, you know what I'm saying, do your thing. How you feeling?
I'm okay.
You feel okay?
Good,
Yeah.
Okay.
good. Hey,
Yeah.
hey.
How you doing? Yeah,
I'm
y'all
good.
see?
Glad you're back. Yeah, Stacy said she wanted to go early. I was ready for 6 o'clock, but hey, we're doing it now,
Yeah.
so we'll get it all together.
Yeah, we'll get it together.
So I see your new background. Are
I'm
you?
in my mama office.
Oh, you at your mom's house?
I'm
Okay.
still in my mama house.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay, cool. All right. Well, we were talking about your favorite, one of your favorite people, Dumpster, the Tramp. And we were just talking about life and how kids have the privilege of having technology now and not having to read to do a research paper, how they have the chat GPT, and we're just talking about the different ways of life and how that era was back then when we didn't have all of that to where it is now, and the
Oh,
appreciation, you know.
Mm.
and remember this, cuz you left out AI. You talk about the chat GPT, we said AI, but we ain't gonna
Yeah.
be like that dummy who is the educational officer, whatever she is. She said A1 steak
A1.
sauce. A1.
Hold on
We're
one.
saying AI,
Yeah,
artificial
AI,
intelligence.
everything that's gonna take over. You know what I mean? It's gonna take over. It's gonna take jobs. For the future. I mean, how people go? No more middle class. And people get on my nerves when they be talking about, oh, you be telling me but middle class. There is no middle class.
Not no
Okay,
more.
we are working poor, wealthy, working
But
poor.
that was the
And
intent.
so,
All this
Yeah.
is intent. Absolutely, it's intent. But again, just because this is their intent, it does not have to be. We can fight and change anything, but we have to be willing and just know when you're in a fight, you're going to take some hits, but you can't be
and
scared.
I'm
If you're
finna say
scared, don't
what
get
my
it.
friend don't want to hear. What we got to do?
Vote.
Thank you. Because guess what? November 4th will be here in just a second, and ain't nobody said nothing about it. You don't see it. All of a sudden, I'm going to say about a week ago, you just start seeing these campaign things pop up. And I'm like, wait a minute. If it's stuff so important like the mayoral for different cities, school boards, councilmen, why is 2 weeks before it's just now coming up? Because it's
Don't be
covered
surprised if
up.
it don't happen at all. Because if
Hmm.
the man get his way, we'll be a dictator and won't be no more elections.
That is true,
But
but
that's
until
why
then,
you
we
vote
need to
even
goddamn
all
vote.
the more. That's the
And they
reason why
don't
you
want
vote all
people
the
to
more.
know. They don't want people to know, and they hiding it because now ain't nobody finna go vote on the 4th. Now we just gotta push, push, push. Guess what? I'm gonna be there
I don't
because
even know who. I
Oh,
mean, vote what they voting for.
that's the whole point. That's the point I'm making. We don't know.
I'm on the Democrat. I'm on the Democrats thing, and I get emails if something's going on with them still, even though they don't like me. But I get the emails, and I haven't seen anything for this area.
That is crazy. Like there's a black boy running for Marietta. There's a black girl running for District 13 something. I forgot what it is, but it's in the Augusta area.
I just said it. Yeah, that's Augusta. Okay, okay.
There's a Asian guy running for, is it Woodstock? Somewhere up there, Canton. The mayor of Canton is an Asian guy running.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
The
okay.
same people that's on the city board. See, I don't know the school boards for my area yet, so I got to do some research. All I know is City of Atlanta. That's
Mm-hmm.
bad. So I'm trying to learn the different things and different people, and I got to do a crash course because November 4th around the corner, and early election starts on Monday. No, 14th.
Yeah,
So
14
historically,
tomorrow.
yeah, they start
No,
tomorrow.
no, Tuesday.
Historically,
14 Tuesday. Okay.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
cause is there anybody running in your area that you've heard about?
Yeah, I was gonna say historically the when it's not a presidential elections, they do tend to fall off or go under the spear, so to speak, under the radar. But they
mm-hmm.
still you have elections every 2 years, but it's
Mm-hmm.
that national what the president gets the biggest attention and it draws more people. But it's up
Yeah.
to us, like
That
you say,
midterm thing.
we have to go out. Yeah, we have to go out and vote those off-year elections so the people can vote. Yeah, we have well, I don't live in Detroit, but we have a mayoral election this year, and my pastor is running. So if I
Yeah.
was running Solomon Kinlock Jr., I would vote for him. He's a smart young man. He cares about people. He has a pastor's heart. I've been with him for 25, 26 years, and I've watched his growth and strength and done tremendous things across the city to help the people rise above. So I hope he wins, but he eked out the primary. But we have the top lady who is pro temp of the city council. She kind of made a big splash. But here's the key in the primary. Only 13% of the eligible voters voted. So it really was no show out, no turnout.
Yeah.
So
Nah,
we're
that was
hoping that they'll turn out more. I hope they turn out more. But just like
And-
she said, these smaller elections, when it's not the president, we just don't have a lot of people come out and vote.
And that's what I feel like that's what they count on, because if voting didn't matter, they wouldn't be trying to pass all these laws. They wouldn't be beating us over the head. They wouldn't have been having us count air bubbles to get in. Like, voting is everything. I mean, if it wasn't that serious, they wouldn't be doing all of this. And
well,
so
I understand. I get that, but we know we all know that last November Elon Musk jumped in and did something with the system and rigged it for this man.
that we do, and
they just can't prove
Pennsylvania.
It.
And no, they proved it. There's a Roland Martin show, and I can definitely put it here in the link. They had a guy who they proved it in Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and if I'm not mistaken, Ohio and North Carolina. They proved that those numbers were touched.
All right, folks, more questions with regards to the 2024 election and whether or not it was legitimate. Various analyses have been done, and people have been saying, wait a minute, hold up. How in the world could Donald Trump win all of the battleground states? Pew came out with their breakdown of the election today, and they literally said that even if there was a dramatic increase of folks who voted in this election, Donald Trump would have still won. That's perplexing, because folks talk about how, well, Republicans even say if there's an increase in people voting, it favors the Democrats. Well, a leading expert in election forensics, Dr. Walter Mabane Jr. of the University of Michigan, has found what he says is statistical evidence suggesting potential vote manipulation in the 2024 presidential election. His report analyzed 7 million votes across all 67 Pennsylvania counties and found that between 25,000 and 225,440 votes in the presidential race could have been fraudulent. His results support the findings released by the nonpartisan Election Truth Alliance. Nathan Taylor, the executive director of the Election Truth Alliance, joins us right now. Nathan, glad to have you here. So walk us through this. And there's somebody who's watching who's saying, all right, this is some, Donald Trump was saying it was rigged in 2016, rigged in 2020. Now this is just the left saying it was rigged against them in 2024.
Thanks so much for having me again. A lot of fun times we've had in the past. It's felt like just yesterday, but it's been months now. So a little bit about my background. As you said, I am one of the executive directors of the Election Truth Alliance, nonpartisan, nonprofit organization that is, we kind of put it together to investigate the 24 election, past elections and future elections. And I think what's important here is, as you said, is there's been a lot of talk about this recently, but I do want to highlight what we're specifically talking about and the findings of Dr. Walter Mebane. This is not voter fraud. This is election fraud. And the difference is voter fraud is from people who may cast their votes. Election fraud is specifically a concern of a system or a systemic issue that's changing how people vote against their will. And I think that's what's important is the work that I've been doing in the ETA and all of our volunteers. It's focused on, are there concerns of our systems and are they free and fair? And, what can we do to dive deeper? So to kind of highlight that, for North Carolina, we did prepare a nice PowerPoint and some data points for you. I don't know if you have that available or not, but let's talk a little bit about Dr. Walter Mebane, his findings and his background. If you're familiar,
they proved it, and the people that you tattletale on or on his team. So ain't nothing you can do. They tried to mess with Nevada and California, but they had blockers, or they did something. I'm gonna say it's a blocker. But yep, there's a whole show where Roland Martin had the whole analytical person on, and he showed all of that. And I'm like, the sad part is when they messed with those numbers in those states, they only messed with the presidential numbers. They didn't mess with anything else. So he was showing how Democrats won in every other thing that was on the ballot in huge numbers. But then when it came to the president, they won. It was the opposite in huge numbers for him.
Yeah.
Because how can it be this and then it go over here? So they showed the discrepancy, and it's like, what can we do about it?
I mean,
well, here's what you do: you vote larger numbers, because if you vote larger numbers, you might jam the system where it can't keep up. So you have to do a hand count.
Because guess what? I don't know the percentage. I don't know exactly, but everybody who I went and voted, everybody didn't damn vote. When you lose by 100,000 in this area, but 400,000 people didn't show up because it was, and you got 1 million people on the registry that's registered to vote, but only 100,000 show up. Like, what's the point? Why are you jamming the system? And I feel like those people are the main ones complaining about shit. You ain't gonna stand in that line with the rest of us, so you can't say nothing about what's
freedom of speech.
My ass. My ass. If you ain't gonna do nothing about the issue, shut the hell up about it. Just saying. Talk about something else.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, but people are going to turn around and say freedom of speech. They have a freedom of speech whether they participated in the process or not. They still have their freedom.
And I have the freedom to tell you to shut the hell up because you're part of the problem.
But Trump already said, he did what interview yesterday Friday, something where he said they removed freedom of speech. That no longer stands.
Yes, that was on Friday because they burning flags and it's making people go crazy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I try not to even watch.
He said they moved it.
Yeah, this guy's just too much. I try not to. He is to nauseum. I try not to even listen to his stuff. It's so hard to take. I catch a little here and there, but it's so asinine. It's so ignorant. It's so stupid, but it's also dangerous.
It is. But we have to listen, so we need to know what the plan is, so we know how to pivot. So we got to listen to the mess.
Yeah. Absolutely, because if you listen to him, he's attacking the Democrats. So the programs that he wants to fire, terminate those employees are quote unquote Democrat program. Well, hell, everybody's benefit from whether you're Democrat, independent, or Republican or not. But he's waged the Civil War has started. He's waged a war against the Democrats, and we are stuck thinking that the old way of governing and following the rules is going to work. It's not in a war. When you are fighting, all things count to win. You're going to use every tool, every arsenal, every part of your body to win. Your head, your teeth, your fist, your feet, you go legs, you go kick everything.
You're going to be opening up again and whoop ass.
Everything to fight, and that's what they've done. They have declared war on Democrats, and the Democrats just don't get it. They don't get it.
Well, Hakeem Jeffries he went toe to toe with one of them the other day, so I think they starting to get it. He stood in that hallway.
Well, I hope so, but I'm not a big fan of Hakeem Jeffries, anyways. He's too he's too cuddle with Israel, and we have got to stop allowing Israel and other foreign countries to dictate to us what we're going to spend our money on. It's our money. Right. It's the taxpayers' money. Let us tell you what we want to spend our money on.
Man, especially Benjamin Netanyahu. I cannot stand that man. I cannot stand him.
Awful person. He's an awful person.
I will say I'm guilty of, I listened to that part and I know some of that stuff, but I don't know enough to even comment on them folks. All I know is they full of shit and we shouldn't have shit to do with them. So I don't even.
Well, they've been pimping America for the last, what is it, like 80 years or so?
Well,
they've been pimping America.
I think they became a nation, in 1945, 46, whatever it was, 48. when it became quote unquote a nation. And you're right. If it wasn't for America's money and the European backing, that nation wouldn't even exist. I think it's only like a 3-4 million people, and it's a desert. So they only surviving because of our economic monies keeping them going and flowing in water for existence. And I have no problem with that. Everybody's got a right to exist, but you don't reward wrong. They mistreating those Palestinians, people over there, to no ends. They've been doing it ever since they've been there, and it's wrong. It's wrong. Period. It's wrong.
It is. But all at the same time, though, they'll do that to us too. If they get a chance, Trump will do it. He on a revenge tour. He after everybody.
He's doing it to us right now.
And we haven't got there yet. We can still go to the grocery store. You know what I'm saying? Pick up a few items. You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be.
You can't afford them. You like have to pay groceries. What the hell? I gotta have to pay groceries.
Right. He just put in. Right, 100% tariff with China come next month.
Yeah, so you know what that's going to do. It ain't hurting us. Tariffs gonna help us.
Yeah, right. We pay the tariffs; they don't. It's going. Everything we got come from China. So at 100% tariff, here we go again. It's going to be sky high. So when you go to the store, do this. It's a hijacker. It's a robbery.
It's a hijacker. Go in there like.
Go in there like this. It's a robbery.
Well, they got the old lady on TikTok. She went in Walmart and put some meat and bread in her purse. And the employees called the police. Old white lady. She was just crying and stuff. She said she was hungry.
What they called the police for?
Because she was stealing it. So they called the police. The police came and he said, I'm not gonna put you in handcuffs. He said, but you just can't walk into an establishment and start stealing people's stuff. He said, you can't do that. It's against the law. Yeah. She was crying. She said, I'm just hungry. My money is not enough. You know, I'm hungry after I pay my bills. And I was like, so, you know, people was like, look, can we have her information so we can, like, you know, set up a GoFund or whatever?
You know, my trifling ass, I'll be walking around the store eating the grapes. Oh, I can't steal it, but I'm finna walk around. I'm finna eat this. Ooh, y'all got samples? Oh, I'm gonna eat this. I'm going breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I'm going to try to
get all the samples. You can't get the samples. I don't advocate.
I'm going to Sam's and I'm paying them samples up.
Yeah, especially in Sam's and Costco's. Yeah, you get samples. And Publix too, sis. Publix. On Wednesday, Publix have all the samples.
She could have tried a food pantry too, because you have to think you don't want to get in no trouble. She'll probably get off misdemeanor, whatever the case may be. But look at it. She's going to have a record if she doesn't already have one. And then trying to go to the legal system.
I said she probably was about 86, 87, you know, and she said she don't have no family and nothing. She was just crying and crying and crying. And you know, the police officer was like, I'm gonna pay for it, but still, you know what I mean? You have to abide by the law, you know what I mean? So I was like, oh Lord, she is going to jail.
You're going to jail.
She's going to jail.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Steal the folk shit.
It's just so sad that it's at that point.
It's at that point. That's where we are now.
And nobody.
The world. Right. The world's richest country. The world's richest country. And people stealing food for food. Now, there are people who have psychological
what they ingrained in our brain, that America was the richest country. I mean, that's what they ingrained in our brain.
You have a point.
Was it really like that?
You have a point there, but nonetheless, even if it is or isn't, you still got enough money, because if we can send Israel billions of dollars, then we can damn sure start giving people here some food. Because dummy just get ready.
Training facility in Idaho for Qatar, we can feed these people.
Yeah, you're right about that. I totally agree. I totally agree. But they don't give a shit. White folks don't care. I'm sorry to say it, and I have to say it that way. But they brutal, they disrespectful, they don't care. If they don't even care enough about their own daughters and wives and nieces and granddaughters and stuff, to, you know what I mean? To you're gonna stop them from being able to have abortions if they get molested by a family member. They do not care. Just as long as
my money is coming in.
And people of color not calling shots.
That part. I
Not,
don't,
not,
I don't
really.
get it.
Nope.
But you know, oh, I'm sorry, I'm listening to her. But I was making a joke. Me and my husband was watching a movie. I can't even think of the movie, but it was this black man helping this little white boy. He was playing basketball, and his family didn't understand him because he liked basketball. You know, basketball supposed to be for black folks. So he went to the hood, started playing basketball, and this black man kind of attached himself to him, was coming to his games and everything. And I guess I relate because I'm rough when I say stuff and I be meaning it from the heart. But he was like, man, in essence, he was like, you don't take your little crock ass on somewhere, you can't do nothing. But I was like, damn, we are so helping and loving and all this other stuff. And when he said that to the little white boy, the police was like, hey, are you okay? Is he hurting you? I'm like, damn, he trying to get a boy some balls to play by. Like, we so helpful and loving and we want to help folks. And then we looked at as these bad people in every way, shape, and form. And I really feel like these white folks are scared that if black and brown people get a little bit of power, that we're going to overtake them. But no, our nice, dumb asses is going to, well, let's make sure everybody's okay. Let's make sure we're going to be mad at them. We're going to
talk open house and all that, trying to feed
do all of that. But we're going to make sure that they eating. We're going to make sure they okay. Because we so fucking nice. It's just in us to be nice. You think about Vikings and colonizers, they just gonna burn shit down. Ooh, I like this. I'm coming to take it. I don't give a fuck who it is. And
Destroy, mayhem, pilferage, the whole nine. But you are right. Maybe it's to our own detriment. We got to learn to strike a balance. Remember that, I know we run out of time, but remember that judge, that black lady judge, when that white cop killed that young man, she went to the wrong apartment, thought it was hers. I think it was in Dallas. She come down from her bench, gave this white girl a hug, embraced her, and gave her a Bible, and gave her, I'm sorry for you, may God bless you, whatever the case. That just show you how we are with that kindness and caring. I have never in my 62 years of living ever seen a judge from a criminal procedure come down and hug the convicted felon, especially a murder charge. Gave him a hug and a Bible.
I've never seen tears is something serious. Them white girl tears is something serious, baby.
White people period. White people period are something serious because they are the most brutal people in the land. They are brutal. They are so brutal.
I forgot to call you and tell you about it. So we had a football game Friday, right? At Whitfield Academy out here in Mableton. You know, it's a private school. It's white. I mean, it's black people there too, don't get me wrong, but you know. And we get on the bus, and all of a sudden you hear this white woman screaming, oh my God, can you move in the move? And he go, I already had an attitude. I was cold. So I get on the bus, and she was screaming at the bus driver that I was going to. And he go, my black ass. Oh, we got a Karen situation going? Loud and ghetto. And it was a Karen situation. It's 6 buses, school buses lined up. It might be this much space in between each school bus. She's trying to pull her Yukon XL out of the parking spot, and she's yelling, acting a fucking fool. You need to move. I gotta go. Can you move the bus? Where the bus going? Mind you, it's 2 buses in front of us, then my bus, and then there's 3 more buses. Where we going? When I tell you, she ran up and down those buses acting a plumb fool. Then the the security guard comes out and says, like, ma'am, what's wrong? Oh my God, I just have to go. Oh my God, I have to leave. It's kids loading the buses. We can't close the doors. You can move. And there was a black police officer, a security guard. That man just touched her shoulder, and I said,
Because she knows she was being recorded. She knows she was being recorded. She just
And
wants to
look,
go out.
my bus driver she was just as ghetto as trifling as I was, because she put that flag, that stop sign out so that camera come on. And she was recording the whole thing. That man touched her shoulder and she fell out. And here go the band director. Maybe you need to get a white officer because she about to get you killed. Now, why is that a conversation that needs to be had at a children's high school football game? Because you got to go. You can't wait until these kids load up and then this man comes to you to try to comfort you, and I'm not exaggerating. She literally
was passed out. Yeah.
Passed out. He touched her shoulder to say, come this way.
Yeah.
I said, this don't make this.
It's crazy. All right. Well, we have to close out our show for today, guys.
Yes.
And it has been funny.
It's loud in my background, y'all. I'm sorry. My grandkids.
That's okay, girl. You got
it's all good. It's all good.
It's all good. So we will see each other next Sunday. Same time, same place.
Yes. Same time, same, and I'm gonna be on time.
Yeah, I know you will. All right, take us out, Shakara.
Take us out. Yes. Have a good night.
Bye.
Hey, bro, we on the radio.